My original plan for today's video was to put together an entire compilation going over each and every new weapon perk in Season 15. I'm back from my Alaskan vacation, and I thought it would be fun to do a light review and description on each new thing. And then I came across this motherfucker. Adagio, the latest addition in Bungie's pool of perks that help to improve weapon damage. Except Adagio is the monkey's paw of more damage. Yeah, it fiddles with your rate of fire, but surely the trade-off overall is beneficial, right? Let's find out. But real quick, before we talk about weapon perks you shouldn't be craven, let's talk about parts of your body that you should be shaven. Today's video is sponsored by Manscaped, and fellas, don't ignore taking care of your downstairs barrel. Not keeping a clean shot below the belt is gross, and Manscaped has their perfect package 4.0 kit filled with a bunch of great stuff to keep you fresh, including top-notch body wash and even ball deodorant. Funny? Yeah, but don't pretend that we all don't sweat. The real creme de la creme, though, of the Manscaped package is their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. Crafted with skin-safe technology so you can feel confident when trimming up, down, and all around. Did I mention that the Mower 4.0 also has a wireless charging system and is waterproof? That's right, boys. Easy to charge, and you can even take it into the shower. We all gotta clean up shop eventually, might as well do it right. Click the link down low in the video description to get taken to manscaped.com and use my unique code PLAYS20 to get 20% off your entire order and get free shipping. Again, code PLAYS20 for 20% off your order and free shipping to boot. Thank you, Manscaped. Alright, back to the content. Here's the official weapon description for Adagio. After defeating a target, this weapon fires, charges, or draws more slowly and deals increased damage for a brief time. They use the words fire, charge, or draw because Adagio can roll on weapons like hand cannons, fusion rifles, and bows. You're essentially trading in how quickly your weapon gets ready to shoot in exchange for better damage output. How much damage exactly? So glad you asked. The damage actually depends on what kind of weapon you're rocking. Most weapons gain a 25% damage increase for a total of 5 seconds. Yeah, I know on d2gunsmith.com it says the duration is 6 seconds, but I checked it myself, frame by frame in Premiere Pro. Many times, actually. Maybe it's 6 seconds for PvE, didn't check it there, but for PvP, it is definitely 5. If you're rocking a shotgun or a bow, however, the damage buff is only 20% on Adagio, not 25. Now I ask you, before we go any further, let's take a look at, say, Kill Clip. Gives you a 30% weapon damage buff, also for 5 seconds. Not only does it do that, but it doesn't harm your weapon's rate of fire. Do you see where I'm going with this? Need I go on? Guess I will. Now that we know the damage numbers, why don't we take a look at the penalty to rate of fire? According to a bunch of websites I've checked, they write the rate of fire penalty as 20%, which sounds fine, I guess, but you really gotta do a side-by-side comparison to really get a feel for how much things actually get slowed down. Why don't we start off with a 180 RPM hand cannon comparison? On the left, we have the Vulpecula firing at regular speed, and on the right, we have one under the effect of Adagio. And before you mention it, yeah, I know in my clip I have my regular hand cannon firing 1 bullet early, but that's only so I could get both magazines to exactly 11 rounds when both begin firing at the exact same time. Anywho, the Adagio hand cannon fires noticeably slower, no shock there. But here's an interesting question. How does the 180 RPM hand cannon with Adagio match up against a regular 140 RPM hand cannon? Turns out it barely shoots quicker than a regular 140 RPM by only about a couple of frames. So good news there, because when your 180 RPM hand cannon is under the effect of Adagio, you can turn it from a 4 headshot kill into a 3 headshot kill. 72 damage times 3 headshot bullets equals 1 dead guardian. Math is fun. So in theory, if your Adagio 180 goes up against a regular 140 and both you and your enemy have perfect accuracy, you should 3-tap kill them before they 3-tap kill you. However, you may have noticed that the Vulpecula can also roll with multi-kill clip, and under multi-kill clip level 1, the headshot damage gets cranked up to 67. Not as strong as Adagio's 72, but still 67 headshot damage is strong enough to 3-tap headshot kill all but the beefiest of guardians. It's also able to accomplish that without harming your rate of fire. Did I mention that multi-kill clip also has a duration of 5 seconds? Moving on, why don't we check another hand cannon? Judgment, a 140 RPM hand cannon that you can grab from the Prophecy dungeon. I haven't gotten any to drop for me yet, but my good friend Paul has. Before we even get to the rate of fire comparison, why don't we talk about damage numbers? A normal Judgment hand cannon is capable of 3-tapping an enemy guardian in PvP, but you need to land all headshots. 70 damage on a headshot, 3 shots, 210 damage total, slightly more than enough to kill any guardian. Under the effect of Adagio, the damage goes up to 59 on a body shot and 88 on a headshot. Even with 2 headshots though, it's not powerful enough to lock up a kill. You still need 3 shots. Granted, the extra damage allows you to lock up the kill with 1 headshot and 2 body shots, but it's still a 3-shot kill. And remember, Adagio makes you fire slower, so in theory, if you had a Judgment with Adagio activated and you were fighting another player also using the Judgment, they could kill you faster than you could kill them. Again, you have the easier 3-tap kill, but they have the quicker rate of fire, and they also only need 3 shots to kill you. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, why don't we take a look at rate of fire? When we last compared a 180 RPM hand cannon with Adagio to a regular 140 hand cannon, at least we figured out that the 180 with Adagio could still shoot slightly quicker than the 140. Here's a 140 RPM hand cannon with Adagio against a 120 RPM hand cannon. Yeah, the footage is in third person because I don't have the rolls, but don't worry, I still managed to link up both guns to start at the exact same frame in the footage here. Believe it or not, the 140 RPM hand cannon with Adagio fires off 3 shots slower than a 120 RPM hand cannon. And because they both require 3 shots to kill, in theory, someone with an Adagio Judgment could lose a 1v1 to a 120 RPM hand cannon, even at close range, because they'd get outsped. Look, I don't mean to come in here and shit all over this perk, but I do want to make sure that people out there know that it absolutely is a double-edged sword. Extra damage is great, but time to kill is king in PvP, and you really gotta make sure that the juice is worth the squeeze. That being said, I don't think it's completely worthless. The new shotgun, Fractithist, can drop with Adagio, and even though I don't think it would be my go-to perk for PvP, the loss of rate of fire doesn't really feel like it'll hurt that much. Shotguns are big one-and-done burst damage. Yeah, there are gonna be situations where if you were surrounded by 2 or 3 or more guys, Adagio could hurt you in locking up a fast double or triple kill, but the extra damage granted by Adagio can help you push out your consistent one-hit kill range a tad further. Take a look at the following clip. I shoot my friend Paul in a private match from just outside normal one-hit kill range. Doesn't quite lock up the kill. Now I kill our friend, activate Adagio, and boom, that extra damage now allows me to put down my bud from that exact same range. You just have to ask yourself if the extra damage is worth the penalty to rate of fire. For shotguns, yeah, it might be worth it if there's nothing else available. I should also point out that the brand new Fraggle Rock shotgun can drop with Harmony, a perk which I love, and that lasts for 7 seconds. More on that perk in a future video, I'm sure. I don't have the Wolf Tone Draw bow or the Iota Draconis yet with Adagio, but it's probably going to be a really similar story for both. My friend Gray in our private lobby testing showed that a headshot from the Adagio bow can deal 182 damage, not enough to one-tap a guardian on its own. However, in theory, if you pair that together with something like a Warlock Empowering Rift, both those things together can lock up a one-shot kill with your bow, and I definitely want to troll people with that combination if given the opportunity, but it is kinda gimmicky. I don't have an Iota Draconis fusion rifle with Adagio, but the charge time would have been taken from an already painful 1000 to an excruciating 1200. To quote my buddy Cool Guy, you could do your taxes in the time it would take that sucker to fire. I'm rambling at this point, but TLDR, Adagio is kind of the black sheep of the extra damage perk family. I appreciate harder hitting weapons as much as the next guy, but harming your rate of fire really goddamn sucks for about 99% of weapons out there. Adagio does less damage than Kill Clip and has the same duration length, which is borderline laughable. It probably can work on weapons like shotguns and maybe bows. If we get an Adagio sniper in the future, that might be viable, unless it's held back to 20% damage like shotguns and bows, in which case, hard pass. Anyway, just wanted to make sure you had all the info so you can decide for yourself if it's worth using or not. Do the like thing, do the sub thing. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.